meeting is being recorded. Start with the approval of minutes from the previous meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, visitors' comments. Start here.
Yep. I had submitted a letter about the EDU count on the sewage system, the wastewater conveyance and collection system treatment, but it appears that they're very much skewed, and I didn't have an opportunity to present it at the sewer authority meeting because of being limited to 3 minutes. But there were some comments at the February meeting regarding all of the taverns, with the exception of one, only paying for one EDU. And it was my understanding from February they were going to correct the EDU assessment at the one tavern that was paying 2 EDUs. So it prompted me, and there was also a discussion about seats, or something said about seats. But I did contact the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board, and based on the information they provided, which included both seat count and room count, I mean, everybody is not paying what they should be paying in accordance with the EDU schedule. And it's, to me, I would call it some significant money. Now, I think it's incumbent on the board here as supervisors. You're appointing these people. There's rules and regulations they should be following, but there seems to be arbitrary and capricious decisions made there. The rules and regulations stipulate the EDUs for seat count. They stipulate the EDUs for room count. If the owners aren't happy with that, nobody ever came down here and complained about it, but my suspicion is this has never been enforced from day one. I mean, and just looking at the numbers, I mean, it looks to me like from the numbers I had, and I had to make some assumptions with regards to where there was an apartment in a tavern, but you know, it's almost up around $1,000 a month. And this represents money coming into the authority either to defer cost of the authority or the residential customers to give them a cut. So one way or the other, this money should be collected. Then there's other issues in the community that should be looked at also. We have special camp rates. We have church rates that are 0. And this is in violation of the rules and regulations. There's not going to be any exceptions. The rules and regulations state. But yet, the board, the sewer authority board, goes out and makes exceptions. And it disregards the welfare, I think, of a large number of the users in doing this. I mean, if we're all going to follow rules and regulations, let's do it right. Let's do it uniformly. There's school over here where you should be looking at the number of students. I don't ever remember that being addressed at any meetings. Some of the businesses around, I don't think are being assessed in accordance with the rules and regulations. So I think the board members or a specially appointed committee should look at this stuff and see what applies here. And I did acquire the posting report, and you can see what.
How many EDUs is the school set at right now, Bob?
Well, I'd have to pull the posting report. You want to sit here and wait? I can go through it and look at it.
Did you send this letter to the sewer authority as well?
Yes, I did. It's copied on the back there.
And so they'll have time to look at it and make their decision. I can only tell you from a tavern owner's perspective that that's what I've been charged for the last 15 years. So
Yeah.
all previous boards, nobody's enforced that schedule.
I never really knew about it. I never knew the disparity that was going on here. But I think that's got to be corrected for everybody in the community. And, you know, what the board does with the additional revenue that may be generated, whether they try and retire some of the debts, because I know they extended their full line of credit, it's my understanding, right, Franny? You took the $25,000 to pay for the PLC.
We'll see what they discuss with it at their next meeting, Bob. But Okay, that's, I've given you 5 minutes today.
Okay, you're
So-
being generous.
All right.
Thank you.
You have something?
I just agree 100% with what Bob said.
You guys have anything?
Yeah, I do. So, talking with Franny and you guys, last time, one thing that was brought up was that there is a policy for the speed limit for the drivers, verbal policy, that Franny said for a speed limit when plowing the snow, which he said was 15 on all roads, 20 on Gardner Hill and the Caledonia shortcut.
15 is on 120, yes.
Okay, which, you know, I think that, okay, that's a policy, maybe you guys should get some written policies as opposed to verbal policies. You know, your policy for abuse of equipment, plowing speeds, all that stuff, maybe just get some policies. That would be my recommendation, so it gives you better ground to look at that stuff.
And
We do have that in new business. That is something we want to address.
And then my other question would be the operator of the GMC, was he punished for having to get his muffler, clutch fan, and inspection done? That's all. Yeah, I know.
So he was not punished?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric?
Yeah, I have a question, Sportsman's Club, I see in the meeting minutes that was just approved from last month. Did they give you guys any kind of deposit on that building when they took it over?
No, there was no deposit.
Okay. And the rules and regulations, are the renters aware of the rules and regulations?
They're under the same laws, we discussed that when they came to rent it, they're under the laws of anybody else, they're just renting a building. There's no
Okay.
rules and regulations.
And you guys are keeping the insurance?
In excess of that.
No, they're insured.
They have
They are
insured,
insured?
they
I
have
mean, as far as
insured.
rules and
They
regulations.
signed a lease, it's all in the lease,
Yeah.
insurance they have to maintain.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is because we went over and we fixed the water problem there, and they informed us that they're gonna be having bands and female entertainment coming into town. And I
Wow.
just wanna know what the rules are.
There's an ordinance that prevents
I would hope
the
that
entertainment
you
of that
guys would
question.
help promote that in this town.
No.
And they're in the process of building a stage inside too, in case you don't know.
Well, we'll have to go over and talk to them about it, because there is an ordinance against
That's
that.
why.
And we did tell them there'd be no shooting over there or anything of that sort.
Okay.
You know, they can't set up another gun range here or something.
And I also noticed they have private property, no trespassing signs. Just so you guys are aware of it, we do have to go on there to
Yeah.
read meters.
Is all that called out in the lease agreement?
I think, as far as the entertainment end of it, that's
Well,
an
I mean,
ordinance.
what they can't do.
There's quite a bit of it in there.
Yeah, it's a pretty,
Are they allowed to drink on the property since it's owned by the township?
I wouldn't see why they wouldn't be able to, honestly. I mean, as a leaseholder, it wasn't in, in the lease. They're liable. It's their
Yeah,
insurance.
They
I
paid
mean, they're,
insurance.
they're residents that live there, and they also have small
He
children
did
around.
tell me he was putting up no trespassing signs because people have been driving through
Yeah, I'm,
where he's trying to fix the grass and stuff.
so you.
Well, there's a right of way there,
Yeah.
to that summer home behind my house.
Right.
Right.
Out across the field is where he said he was trying to
Oh, okay.
prevent it. Okay. So,
That's okay.
okay. Anything, Mike?
Well, what Bob was talking about is such an important issue. Jeremy, are you or Victor going to attend the next SOH meeting?
I
To
can't,
hear,
yes.
listen to the discussion on it and
No,
see
yeah,
what they decide?
No, if this is going on, certainly.
I'd appreciate that. The other thing, I would ask that you supervisors read the Sunshine Act or refresh your memories on it, because you're violating the Sunshine Act by approving the minutes before you listen to visitors' comments. You cannot transact any business until after you have listened to visitors' comments. So, let me look at the Sunshine Act and see if that's how you interpret it.
That's the way it's always been set up since I became a supervisor here. We can always reverse it, that's not a big deal.
Always is, I just know
Right.
I
what
think
the
we've got
Sunshine
to-
Act
I
says.
think we've got to ask, is there any questions on the minutes of the previous meeting?
Pardon me?
I believe the way it was always done, we should be asking, is there any questions on the minutes of the previous meeting?
No, it's very specific. you have to take visitors' comments before you transact any business at all. I have one other thing. This has been discussed quite a few times. About workman's comp for you supervisors. Now, officially, Victor, you're listed as the working supervisor. Is that
I'm
right?
not, I'm a fill-in is all. No, I don't want no job here. I fill in, like the other week there, Sid's wife had an operation, and he had to be off a couple days, and I filled in for him on the weekend there, but that's as far as it goes.
So none of you are officially a working supervisor?
No.
All right. God forbid, what if you would be hurt while you're doing work?
There was a motion made to pay for supervisors to work as needed, and we are covered under the comp.
Right, right.
We wouldn't get paid wages, but if we got hurt, would we be paid for injuries, is what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, if one of us got hurt, we wouldn't get any wages because we're not officially on the payroll. We're not a regular employee. It would pay for your injuries, but no payroll. What I understand.
None of you take pay for doing that extra work?
Yeah, oh yeah. When we fill in, yes.
There's an hourly rate that's set by the auditors. When he plows snow, he gets the hourly rate.
And what about Franny when he works?
He doesn't take any money. And I don't do any hourly work either.
Okay, he doesn't take any money, but again, if something would happen, you would have no paper trail for workman's comp to show.
Right.
I mean, usually what you do when somebody doesn't want their pay is you deduct the taxes, you take the check, and you give it back to the secretary and instruct the secretary to deposit it in the general fund. So my concern is if something happens, there's no paper trail by
We can
you.
check it. We can check it.
Yeah, we'll check
Until we're
into it
covered
to
as
make
soon
sure
as we
you
walk in the
know
door.
the proper procedure.
Okay, thank you. That's all I
We've been through
have.
this with the storage before and the policy with the storage.
Covers
If
it.
you're a board member, you're covered. We went through this same argument with the storage.
I heard Mr. Summerson is ill. Is there a backup road foreman currently?
No, right now it's
So there's no, just the supervisors are telling
just
them
the
what to do?
supervisors, yes.
Okay.
Pass.
Anybody? Greg?
Yes, with the concerned safety of the citizens in the township about heavy truck traffic, mostly with East Branch project or any wells. I think the supervisors should send a letter or call to the state police to monitor Burndale Hill. Because I went up actually yesterday to go to, and I don't know how many tracks come down, never even went in that stop sign. I'm sure the buddies ahead of them on the CB say, well, nobody's here, come on. I mean, somebody's gonna get hurt.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of trucks. I mean, there's always is, but now with the triaxles,
Oh, it's,
but yeah, they say that, but they know. it's
a lot of
shorter
them are
way.
on 219, but there's a lot of them here.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the board should notify the state police.
Yeah,
and
because
monitor
there's
that
a
more.
lot of them.
I mean, you can't, the CB's gonna say where somebody's sitting, but
Right now.
I mean, if they can chase four-wheelers around, they should be able to chase trucks around too. That's all I have, thank you.
Anita, anything?
Yeah. What is your ordinance on non-running vehicles, things like that? Is there one,
On non-what?
running vehicles?
Oh, yeah, being the nuisance ordinance, I believe.
Okay, 'cause my neighbors have 4 vehicles that are not running, that are parked in both of their driveways, and they can't park their one running vehicle in the driveway because of the other running vehicles, and they park halfway on the road, and it's interfering with me backing out of my driveway, and all winter long it was a nuisance because the township, somebody probably noticed, because they had to have somebody, Tony Finese, come up with a backhoe and had to move the snow so they could get their car in front of the trailer over there and off the road.
It's still garbage.
They cleaned up their garbage, but the trailer next door, because that's my other thing, the trailer next door to them has about 50 bags of garbage, and it's attracting all the cats and everything over there, so something needs done about them too.
We can call that in.
Where's this at?
Hemlock, down before the doctor's office, the old brick building.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they have a vehicle there, it's not even inspected for the past 3 years, and it's on the berm of the road.
Yeah, that's part, if it's not inspected or licensed, then it falls under the nuisance ordinance, we'll check it out.
And now they have also washers and dryers and stuff that they're piling up in front of the building.
We'll go down and talk to him again. Been there before. Notified, the trailer is not on that property, it's on a different property.
It's right beside.
You'll see it. So I'll see it.
Yeah, you'll see it, the
I'll
garbage
number
is,
on that.
the back porch is covered, the driveway is covered, there's bags of garbage everywhere.
All right, anything there?
Yeah, Jeremy, thank you for answering questions this evening. It's appreciated by the crowd, I'm sure. I was just looking back through some of the roadway foreman salaries here, and I was unaware until I got a copy of his resume that he has no road work experience. I don't understand other individuals that put in for the job that are experienced, and from what I understand, were in interviews. It is what it is, I understand that, but you bought a pig in the puddle. Plain and simple. Go ahead, that's all right, smart, but you know it as well as I do. And it's at the expense of the taxpayers.
Okay.
That's all I have. I mean, I have a lot more, but keep it simple.
Anything else coming across?
Yeah, this EQT, notice of intent for consumption use, where is the longhorn fat at here?
That's the Great Hill, the one that's already been cracked on Great
that's already
Hill.
there.
Yeah, we asked them there on Tuesday night when they were here for the committee meeting. They're going to be trucking the water out of there and then closing that site up. So that's what that one's for.
That's the spent water they're gonna be trucking out.
What's in the, they have a pond up there.
Oh, the pond, okay.
Yeah, they're gonna be hauling that out to elsewhere and then reclaiming that and closing it up.
And another well they have there, that's Stony Brook, where's that one located at?
Stony Brook's off of Mount Zion Road, that's a new well permit. But they said no activity until at least 2016, so it's just a permit.
The trucks off of Longhorn, do you know the route they'll be following?
They should be coming up Mount Zion Road in Caledonia, and top Caledonia, that's the only place they still have the bond.
Okay.
Took the
then
bond
which way
off
are
the
they
lower
going? Are they
road.
coming down, could be going up 255?
I don't know where they're going with it.
I
They
think
might
it'd be
be
good to
hauling it
find
out.
that
It's-
out, so.
It's a permit to use the water, I'm sure they're gonna haul it to another well site or something,
Yeah,
they
but-
haul it out.
They're definitely not coming down into Caledonia, you couldn't get down
No,
that right now.
are they coming
Pickup.
down 255 and going south, or are they going north?
I don't know where, it's just a permit to remove the water there.
Yeah, I
I don't know where
understand
they're
that.
going from there.
But they're gonna truck it off there. I'd like to know where they're gonna take it and which
Well,
route they're gonna
once it
follow
hits
out of the
state
town.
highway, it's
Once again, I would like to know.
If it's fresh
I think it's a
water,
reasonable question.
there shouldn't be any problem.
It's fresh water, it's not used water.
Yeah, if it's spent
No, it's
water,
not
you
used,
put it
but
in.
it's probably treated because they were treating it with the gas out there, or at least they had a permit to inhibit bacterial growth. Now, whether they did it, but they had a permit to use this material.
Okay, you good there, Joe?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, was there anything done with, your driver hitting the building down in Caledonia?
Well, it's a personnel matter, but it was dealt with.
It was dealt with?
Yes.
Was he sent for a
And-
drug test, alcohol test?
No.
No?
He was rode up,
What's that, Becker?
he was rode up for it.
Yeah, but was he sent for, you owe CDL, what do you do when you have an accident?
Well, we're just telling you what was done with it. He wasn't sent for a drug test, but he was rode up for it, it's on the record.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeremy, the recycling center sign is still at the post office. I'd appreciate if you guys could go through the proper channels or see somebody or whatever it takes to get it moved.
Okay. you guys are aware that recycling center sign points up his driveway. It's actually, it's pointing to Apple Street, but people go up his driveway thinking it's the recycling. I have one at the end of my driveway, they go up my neighbor's driveway, my driveway.
I think we should do both of them, and put one at the end of the street. Do both of them, because the other one don't make no sense either.
Yeah, one's in my driveway and one's over in his driveway. Okay, we'll look. Anything else in the back row?
Can we possibly check on getting the speed limit sign back on Apple Street? It's kind of like a raceway, including the trucks, and there is a lot of little kids again, and it's.
Was there one there that's
Yeah, it
missing?
used to be, I think, in by Yuck Tyler's.
One down, I said there was one down at the bottom of the street.
One at the
Yeah, but they come off the hill, they forget there's a stop sign.
Oh, they're coming the other way, yeah.
Is the stop sign at Strawberry fixed? It was hit.
Yeah, they
Yes.
fixed, I believe they fixed that. Okay, anything else there in the back row? No? Okay, that's the end of visitors' comments. Let's go to approval of bills. So you guys have any questions on bills?
I don't want to We have to have a discussion on it.
We can't hear you, Franny.
I said for David lift tax vacation overtime, it's not correct. Supervisors have to sit down and discuss this.
Not correct? What's wrong with it?
It's been a mistake.
You're full of shit.
Okay, we'll discuss it with the secretary maybe Friday morning in the morning.
Can I get a motion?
Can
to
Mr.
approve
Rick
the
that come to
bills?
that meeting?
He can, he got a new job.
I'm working.
I mean, he should be
Don't
part of
expect
it.
a check in the mail, I guarantee you that.
Well, I'm just saying, I know there's a mistake.
Can I get a motion to approve the bills?
If there's no other questions, I'll make a motion to approve the bills in the amount of $47,758.27.
Well, how are you gonna do that if Franny just said that amount is wrong up there? What are you gonna put?
I'll make a motion to pay them all except that.
You already paid it, you can't make a motion, you already paid it.
No, he's going to put it back in there, the board has to correct it. The board has to correct it.
We're getting no check, I'll guarantee you.
How much is in question here?
Who's adding that up?
If you don't have a calculator.
Well,
I really don't know the ending. I really don't know the ending until I.
is it thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars? or-
Was it vacation, you said?
I was into the vacation.
I think what the question Bob, is, you were paid for vacation for the whole 2015?
Pays for what I owed.
No, the calculation was wrong on it.
No, all right. I
That was one part. The other part, I'm not sure, so I'm not gonna say anything until I check it out.
Okay.
I have to check it out.
Well, I'll second the motion to approve the bills. All in favor? Aye. Treasurer's report.
General fund checking balance as 2/19/15 was $62,534.47. Balance as of 3/20/15 is $46,824.69. State fund balance 2/19/2015 is $12,308.24. Balance as of 3/20/15 is $177,700.60. Legal balance $32,233.08. Capital reserve account $34,307. State fund CD $39,962. General fund CD $82,121. And the deposits for the month are $32,048.49.
Correspondence.
Can I ask a question? Dust oil, is that somebody in arrears from last year?
Well, that's a good question. I didn't see that.
They're just paying it now?
Oh. said it was a medical issue, but they just got it caught up.
Oh, okay, so it's an excusable issue.
Right.
All right.
Okay, correspondence, 1, J Township Sewer Authority meeting minutes, 2, J Township Water Authority meeting minutes, 3, Out County Commissioners meeting minutes, 4, PSATs news bulletin, 5, EQT notice of intent for consumptive use of water at Longhorn Pad, 6, Out County Association of Township Officials scholarship applications, 7, J Township Auditors 2014 annual audit, 8, Western Pennsylvania Conservancy dam removal permit application force, 9, EQT Stony Brook well permit applications, 10, Robert Koppel P&N permit Burns Run watershed, 11, Robert Koppel disparity in assignment of EDUs J Township Sewer Authority.
Jeremy, you and I spoke about item 10 there. Did you get any additional information?
We did call DEP, and it is just...
It's for closure?
It's for closure.
Okay.
Is there any timeline on that,
we got notice on that. I don't know if it had a timeline on it, but...
You don't have to look now, I just wanted to know.
She's got it here.
What time you going to fix it?
It doesn't say. Just notification that they're gonna remove
That way
it.
if somebody asks,
Yeah,
they
they
remove
remove
it, I don't
They're
know.
gonna remove that old pond up there. Part of it. Okay, there's no road maintenance or equipment maintenance report. Mentioned our foreman is out ill right now, and we make those up. So we'll move on to old business. We got campers. Looked at a couple of ordinances there that I got from PSAT's website. And actually, what I would like to suggest is that we talk to the attorney about it and get something simple that maybe we can even add into our subdivision and land development ordinance rather than having a whole separate ordinance. That's a suggestion from me. And
What problem are you trying to solve here?
like a camp, regulating campgrounds. There's a couple
it's
different people that have
campgrounds.
asked about campgrounds, and we'd like to get something defined. Well, the ordinances that PSAT's had, most of them just deal with the roadways in, with the roads, how far apart your sites are, how far your first site is from the highway.
Fire protection.
You know.
How about
Yeah, it's some
Vincent? They have
basic
2
stuff.
campgrounds. Do they have any ordinances
No, there's no ordinance.
in Vincent Township?
Oh, I don't know if they have an ordinance now, I'll look into it.
Yeah.
I just started, these ones I got from PSAT's website, but, yeah. I don't know if that has an ordinance. But I think we should pass out some of that information over, talk to that first, and then see what they're, how they're dealing with it. Possibly just add it to amendment to the land development ordinance.
Yeah, I can't see putting a whole new ordinance in for it.
No.
Just an add, you should do it cheap.
If you guys are okay with that, I will
Yes.
talk to him about it after I talk to them and see if they have it. Okay, source water protection ordinance is still in the works. We had our last meeting on Tuesday and another section was questioned. So we sent some more questions to the attorney on that. Maybe we'll have something to put out to the public next month, we'll see. Now the dust oil bid. This is the dust oil bid too. Jackson paving. $20,000 gallons of E3. Delivery price of $2.10. Midland? We want to find it. Midland asphalt. $2.024. 2.024.
Who was that? Med.
That's what it is.
Med.
That's who that last year, right?
It's not 2.5 cents.
Those are the only two, right? Those are our only two. So need a motion on Midland, I suppose it's the lowest.
I make a motion, we go with Midland asphalt materials at the price of $2 and .024
All in favor? Aye. Dumpster bid, one dumpster bid, elk waste, like always. 205 per pool, $40 per ton landfill fee. Same as last year, it's 205 landfill fee going.
That was elk waste.
Elk waste.
The one we got.
The only one we got. Can I get a motion to approve it?
I make a motion to approve the dumpster bid for elk waste. 205 and pool, $40 a ton.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, the employee handbook. As mentioned, we have some policies, we have some things written, some things unwritten, and we talked to the attorney, we thought it'd be a good idea to try to get all that into one place. I've already contacted Jones Township, contacted Fox. They said get some from neighboring communities, see what they're doing, and start from there rather than to try to rewrite the whole thing yourself. So I guess we're going to need to sit down with him after we gather up all our policies and what we can find out there to compare, and then get it all in one place. That's where we're at with that. I just wanted to get it on to new business, so we continue to work on it.
That's for policies and procedures?
Yeah, complete employee handbook.
That's awesome, we'll be across the board then, how it should be.
Right. Okay. All right, tires. Well, as the letter says, for 20 years, the Elk County Solid Waste Authority's been helping us by hauling away tires and paying the freight on it. And they're no longer going to do that with the rising costs. So we need to decide what we're going to do with tires. We already have almost a dumpster load of tires out there. I don't know what you guys, I mean, we got to haul it away, obviously. We're looking at a weight, $150 a ton to haul it away. Obviously, whatever we just got there, $205 to pull the dumpster out on top of the tonnage. Charging $1 a tire or something for bringing them in.
We're gonna have to do something.
I don't want to get away from accepting tires, because then we're just going to end up having guys hunt down everybody to pick up tires.
Oh, we don't want that. We don't.
But they're no longer going to do them. We're looking at probably $1,000 minimum for one dumpster load of tires.
I have no idea how many
I have a
tires.
question, is there a recycling spot for these old tires where they can grind them up and repurpose them somehow? I think the supervisor should look into a recycling center.
That's what they did. That's what they did over there. They brought it, there was a week-long pick it up PA, and they brought the recycler in, and that's how it worked. And the Elk County Solid Waste paid for the transport of the tires and any cost associated with it.
What are the other local governments doing? 'Cause
I don't know
everybody
yet.
else
Yeah,
has-
this has gone out to everybody. So
I mean, you ought to contact Lori over there and ask her, or whoever, what's everybody doing? And send out a letter and see.
Well, yeah, I don't think we have
Piggyback.
we're not making a decision on it tonight either. I'm just
No,
bringing it to the
but
attention of the
get
board.
together with them and see if you can piggyback with everybody else.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it usually happens so early in the summer that we end up with a pile of tires for the rest of the year anyway, so we're sitting on a pile of them right now. We're gonna have to come up with something.
Gary, you didn't want to go back the way it used to be, where the township hauled their own tires? Let the permit lapse.
Right, we can haul our own tires, but we still have to pay over there.
We have to pay. Pay at the landfill?
At the landfill, correct?
There's other places to haul them.
I don't know, we'll need to look into it, that's why I'm bringing it up, we just got this the other day.
This is only household tires. No.
It's only household tires, no commercial businesses can bring them in. And your household tires, you can take directly to the landfill, it says. any time of the year for free, is that what it said?
I think it used to be a limited number.
Yeah, their tires from residential locations have always been accepted free at Green Tree, if you bring them in yourself. So there's always that option, but we know that all of them don't get brought in, they end up down over the bank somewhere or in the creek, and then we have to go try to get them out, so we'd like to keep taking them here in some
I
capacity.
think even if you charge $2 or $1 a tire, they're gonna throw them over the bank instead of.
I know, and it would have, honestly, it would be on an honor system here, because you're not gonna pay a guy to sit out there and collect $1 a
Yeah,
tire.
they're gonna pitch them over the bank if you charge
Right.
more money now, no matter what you charge.
Well, just on the cost, Bob already offered you guys a revenue of income, and I think it'd be foolish not to pursue it on the water bill.
That would be
That-
income.
That's the sewer authority, that has nothing to do with us
But
here.
are you not managing it? You guys are responsible for the sewage, are you not?
Their authority board is responsible for the sewage. So that's where we're at with tires. Let's look into our options with it and discuss it next month. All right, dangerous structures. Under our nuisance ordinance, we have a section for dangerous structures. We have several buildings around town where roofs have given way, and we'd like to, I guess for tonight, make an announcement that we'd like them to be addressed, and now that the weather's starting to cooperate, that people can get to them before something bad happens. We can send letters out. When we send letters out to the property owners, they got 30 days to.
What if they're dead?
Well, I mean, that's, somebody has to own the property, even if, somebody else owns the property if the person's
I
deceased.
don't know about that.
But,
Well, you could send a letter out advising, not
advising,
the
right?
heavy hammer.
Yeah, under the
First,
ordinance,
I
they have
think-
30 days to remedy it, and I don't wanna go that route, but I
Well,
think we should
that's,
get some
I wouldn't put the 30
notification out
days in there, but I'd seek cooperation in the form of a letter first.
Right, because there's
Because
some
there
that
are
are
gonna be people
dangerous.
that aren't gonna read the papers.
Jeremy, how many structures are there?
I don't
Oh, you don't
even
have
have a
a-
number. I've gotten a couple of calls on a few of them, and I'm just, that's why it's here.
I know some people that aren't gonna read the letter.
There's one on Peach Street that really needs addressed.
Peach Street is one of the ones I've gotten several calls on, so.
Really bad, dangerous. There's little kids playing on Peach Street now that, it's kind of scary.
Well, that's it, anything that's accessible for kids.
Yeah, and if kids see someplace they can sneak in and climb and look in the window or something, they're gonna do it.
So I-
Building right next to you.
At the end of that 30 days, what happens? You send out a letter, what?
There's one where he did.
Right.
Yeah, it's an ordinance, so there's steps to take where they can be fined and, but it's really, you end up in front of the magistrate.
And his wife is in there.
That's why I'm saying, I don't wanna put a limit of 30 days on it. The weather's just getting better now.
He owns the same
Just get
one
some
she's
notice
talking
out there and see if people
Yes.
cooperate. That's my goal.
It's touchy.
So does that pertain only to empty buildings or?
A dangerous structure is just defined as a building that has deteriorated to the state where it's dangerous or unsafe for occupancy, constitutes a fire hazard, dangerous surrounding buildings, shelters rats, endangers the safety of children playing about it or persons passing by. That's the definition.
Awesome, when you go to my neighbors, then check out their cars, check out their porch roofs, because they're gonna collapse any day. You can address that while you're at it.
This is the way the ordinance is written, but,
Jeremy, like they were talking about that structure, and I said, you have one right next to you, the same man, he's deceased. And the wife, I understand, is in a nursing home now, but surely they have someone that's taking care of their affairs for them,
Yes.
that you could contact. I mean, every person that's dead, or, there's somebody that owns that property, or somebody taking care of their affairs.
yeah, by putting a letter out, that should get
Yeah.
moving.
But if it doesn't work, you'll have to have your township engineer condemn it.
But again, you don't wanna chase ghosts. What if they're dead?
Somebody has to own property, and if not,
It's in
then
limbo, Jeremy.
and if
Gladys and George Collins' property down here is in limbo.
okay, well then is it taxes being paid on it?
No.
Okay, well then it'll end up at the county in the repository eventually, and then they'll.
You don't wanna chase ghosts. Magistrate and all that.
And that's only one place that's been called in about,
That's the first one that popped
all right, but I'm just saying, if nobody's paying taxes, eventually it ends up with the county, and then
Correct.
they have their own policy on that, so. Okay. Okay, dangerous structures, you want to motion to put a letter out? Let's make a motion
I'll
to
make
get
a
a letter
motion
out
to-
and ask for co-op.
You get a letter out on the dangerous structures?
Get a second?
I'll second
All in favor?
it. Aye.
Aye. Okay, dirt and gravel roads grant. Notice they're starting to accept applications. They're due in by April 24th, no later than April 24th. And we talked about it last fall with Steve about applying for that Plum Street culvert. So I just need a motion to, I'll fill it out. And I've already started last fall, but I'd like to,
Okay, you want the motion to say what now?
that we're going to apply for a grant for the culvert on Plum Street.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we apply through the Dirt and Gravel Roads Program for the culvert on Plum Street.
Does that meet the criteria?
It meets the criteria.
It does, it's paved, huh?
They have a new program where the low-volume paved roads can be included. It started this is the first year, and they increased the funding as well for it.
What's the classification of a low volume road?
Oh, you have to have a study, traffic study done. We just had one of our guys sit there and count cars, which is one of the accepted ways to do the traffic study. I sat through the whole rundown of it last fall. So,
I don't think it's really low volume.
well, 500 cars a day or less is, I think, the number. Don't quote me, but I think that's the number that they.
I bet there's that number that goes through across that road, if not
Well,
more.
According to the traffic study, it fit the criteria. That's all I
So,
can tell
did
you.
you have somebody sit there for 8 hours, Jerry, or?
I think it's only 2 hours that they require. There's a whole process to it.
We already
Follow
went
the
through it
process.
last year.
How about Peach Street, what's the status of that?
The pipe on Peach Street,
Yep.
we will be changing that. We told you that last month.
Yes, you did, but there were no formalized plans or anything? You gonna do
No,
that?
we're still filling
Throwing darts.
potholes and getting
Throwing darts.
snow off the roads. Okay, an assessment permit for Victor Catalone, so we won't be voting on it. 16 by 40 lean-to roof attached to the back of his garage for storage.
Is that on top of the hill?
I'll bet you.
I was gonna say, which property is that, just
On there.
on the
Can I get a motion to approve the permit? I'll second it.
Let the record show that I refrain from voting.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. That's it.
Is that gonna be accessible to the public? I mean, because I mean, some of this stuff, when you have public buildings, it's gotta be stamped by a PE as far as a structure.
No, that's the reason it was
Yeah.
fenced in, it won't be accessible to the public.
All right, just need a motion to adjourn.
Jeremy, on behalf of the fire company, I'd like to thank the township for bringing the front end loader up and pushing the snow back those couple of days, so.
No
thank you.
problem. Thank you.
Anything else? I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.